Today's question is about seated forward folds. Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa West, and welcome to Living Your Yoga. Today's question comes to us from Monique from the membership site. And she says, with the sitting forward folds, and she says, on the blanket. So this is where you elevate yourself to sit on a blanket. And she's talking about, I'm going to try and show you exactly what she's talking about. With your legs open, I find it to be incredibly challenging. I can't sit upright, so what happens to her is her pelvis, I'm assuming her pelvis curls under. My lower back and my inner muscles feel like they're made of steel, and it's pretty unbearable. She says, I even tried sitting on a block to raise myself more, but it was still really tough. And I think if this isn't working, probably a block's not going to work too. So she's asking for any suggestions to find ease in this pose to gain its benefits. Maybe doing it on my back with a strap, one leg at a time until I gain more flexibility. So she's asking if it would be helpful for her to lie down on her back and do that pose, the Supta Padang Ustasana pose, where you take your leg into the air and put it out to the side. So that is a great pose, but what I would say is I will give you the same advice that my yoga teacher gave me when I was having a lot of trouble with my seated forward folds, and I still struggle with them. And that is to practice them from standing until they get easier. So let me show you how to do that. So from standing, you can practice your wide-legged standing forward fold. And the way to do it is to roll your pelvis over your leg bones, lifting and spreading your sit bones behind you. And you're going to stop when your pelvis stops rolling. So that's where my pelvis stops rolling. And you could use your blocks here to lift the ground. And you can practice any of your same seated forward folds here. So Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold, the legs together here. So you roll your pelvis over your leg bones, lift and spread your sit bones behind you. So there's where my pelvis stops there. So I told you I have a challenge with this. I'm going to stop there, draw my head there. So I'd probably use a bolster or chair even would be better for me here. You can also do it with one leg crossed over. So I would practice them all from here like that. From standing. You're going to get a lot of gains this way. Also, as a beginner, I did practice them a lot in the bathtub because you can get, with the buoyancy of the water, you can get your pelvis rolling over your leg bones a lot too. The other thing to keep in mind, and this is a really important thing that I learned in anatomy in my teacher training, that really let me off the hook, is that a lot of times there are anatomical structural things going on in your skeleton that could be stopping you from being able to do a forward fold. So for example, if you've been doing yoga for over a decade like I have, or almost 2 decades, then, and your forward folds aren't progressing, then, and there's something that's stopping you here and you just can't go any further, it's probably skeletal. So you can lengthen your hamstrings all you want, and nothing's going to let you go further in your forward folds. So you could get a physiotherapist to help you check that out, or a chiropractor or massage therapist. Anybody who's a real expert on your anatomy might be able to help you figure that out. Also, one other thing I wanted to show you when you're in your seated forward folds is that asymmetrical seated forward folds, that is when you have one leg bent, these ones are going to be easier than the symmetrical ones. Okay? I also wanted to point out some classes that will be helpful for you. So I would recommend practicing happy hips. And since doing this blog post, we have released hippie shorts on the membership site, which is like a spring off, or is that the right word? I don't know. Springboard from Happy Hips, like where we created 10 brand new videos with new content, but there's shorter versions. So Happy Hips is a 70-minute long video, and people found like you don't have time to do that before you go to work in the morning. So these are like 20 to 30 minutes, or some of them even 10 minutes long. Yes, some 15 to 30 minute videos that you can do before you go to work in the morning. People are loving those. Also, Yoga Hips and Hamstrings is a great video that's in the shop and on the membership site. And on the membership site, we have great videos, connective tissue videos. The one for your feet, they're all done from standing, but where you work the connective tissue on the bottom of your feet, these are amazing for opening up the flexibility on the backs of your legs. So those are some great videos to work with to help your forward fold as well. So I'd love to hear from you. What have you done to improve your seated forward folds in yoga? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you.
For more tips on how to take your yoga off of your mat and into your life, visit AskMelissaWest.com and have Melissa's videos delivered directly to your inbox. While you're there, ask Dr. Melissa West a question. She may answer your question on an upcoming episode of Living Your Yoga.